Alright traders, my name is Forest God and I welcome you all to this edition. Today is Thursday or today is Wednesday and we are analyzing Euro USD once again. Let's see what the market is going to be presenting. Currently we all know market is reacting off the daily order block. So let's see what should we expect before we enter for a sell. What should we expect before we enter for a sell? Is that order block really valid or is not valid? So let's get straight into this. Let's get started. I don't want to waste much time today because I have a lot of things to do. This is Euro USD top down analysis and market structure. So let's take off all this. Let's take off all this. Okay. So today we are not going far. We're just starting from the daily time frame. Let's start from the weekly time frame. Let's really understand what's happening. So when we check on the weekly time frame, you can see that the market was in a bullish move. The market was in a bullish move here, giving us higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. Let me use this for you to understand. The market has been giving us higher highs, you see, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, giving us this higher low here, giving us this lower low here, giving us this higher high here. And what happened? Price broke this low here to give us a lower low here, which means now we have a shift in structure. We have a shift in structure here, which means now the market is heading to the downside. We have this shift here. That's on the weekly time frame. We have this market structure shift on the weekly time frame. So let's delete this. So now we move to the daily time frame. What are we seeing? So we come into the daily time frame. You see that market has broken that structure to the downside. And we all know that anytime market breaks structure to the downside, what should we expect? We expect market to grab liquidity before it keeps moving. Market should grab all the internal liquidities before the overall movement to the downside. And now market is grabbing liquidity. It has grabbed enough liquidity, and we know before market grabs liquidity, it has to grab up to 50% of the Fibonacci level, or 60, sometimes 70%. And now we can see that market has grabbed liquidity to the 50%, above the 50% of the Fibonacci. This is a 50%, and now we are on the 60% Fibonacci level, which means market has grabbed enough liquidity to fuel the market to move to the downside. And we say liquidity is market taking money from early traders to give it to the patient traders. You know, that's how trading works. Market has to take money from some people to give it to some people. It has to take money from some people to give it to some people. That's what we call liquidity. When you lose money in the market, it means the market has taken your money to give it to someone. You know, that's trading. You take money from someone to give to someone. You take money from someone to give to someone. So all these movements we have seen is liquidity. Market has taken. People were here trying to sell. People were here trying to sell because the overall movement is the downside. When they want to sell, market to take them out. When they want to sell, market to take them out and give the money to the buyers who keep buying. So that's what we call liquidity. So market has taken a lot of liquidity and enough liquidity to fuel the market to the upside. So now what should we be expecting? We should be expecting reversal. When we say reversal, it means we should be expecting market to keep moving to the original direction. So this is the order block on the weekly time frame and the daily time frame. The market has mitigated now. Now market has mitigated this daily order block. Market has mitigated this daily order block. So what should we expect before we start taking sales? We can't just start taking sales here. No, we don't do like that. You have to wait for confirmations. When we say confirmations, what does that mean? It means you have to wait for market to give you reasons to start selling. What are the reasons market are giving you? What are the reasons market has given you to start selling? A lot of people don't wait for market to give you reason to start selling, then you start selling. That's why market will take you out as liquidity and give it to people keep on buying. So when you understand this thing, your way of trading will become so different to the extent that you wouldn't believe yourself. Are you getting me? Don't just start selling, you have to wait for confirmation. That's why we now lower our time frame to the 4 hour or 1 hour time frame. So I specifically will go into the 1 hour straight to see if I'm getting a confirmation that now the sellers are coming into the market. Are you getting me? So let's move straight into the 1 hour time frame. Let's see what the market is presenting. Let's see the structures market is giving us. Is market giving us better reasons to start selling? So let's move to the 1 hour time frame. So coming into the 1 hour time frame, this is the structure market that is giving us. Now market is reacting from the daily order block. So this is the daily order block, we all know. So as market got into the 1 hour time frame, look at the structure market is giving us. Market broke this structure here to the upside. This is a break of structure. We'll get into the 15 minutes or the 30 minutes. This is a break of structure to the downside, which we had this buy because we took it from this other block here. We took it from this other block here. We took it from this other block, but I didn't wait for it to reach the other block. I took it from the 50% of the fair value gap. You understand? I took it from the 50% of the fair value gap. So 50% of the fair value gap. So I placed my buy here in the 50% of the fair value gap, and my stop loss just below this liquidity, and I targeted this high, and guess what happened? The trade played out exactly as I predicted, or exactly as the market showed me. And what should we be expecting now? What should we be expecting? Because the overall movement is to the downside. So now you can see that we have this break of structure to the downside, this strong break of structure to the downside. So now that we have this break of structure, what I'm expecting is that a lot of people were here trying to sell. A lot of people were here trying to sell. So market took them out liquidity. People were trying to sell from here. People were trying to sell from here because they saw this internal market structure shift here and saw this break of structure here. So they saw this and people were trying to sell. So market took them out as liquidity, which means that now if market should break this low on the 1 hour time frame, if market should break this low here, if market should break this low here, it means now the market has changed direction to the downside, which means now the sellers are in control. So all you need to do now is to look for a confluence. That's the fair value gap present, the order block present, the liquidity present. Then you take your sell, continue selling to the downside. So before you start selling, make sure you wait for price to break this liquidity here, this low here, because that's our current protected low. This is our recent protected low. So it means we don't want market to break below that low. But if market breaks below that low, if market should break below that low, if market should break below this low, then it means now we have a market structure shift. We have a market structure shift. So now look for our sales to the downside and now target our daily high. So now target our daily high, which means now the market is in confluence with the overall trend. But if market fails to break and does this, and when market comes into this other block here, and give us reasons to start buying, then we start buying again. But if it doesn't give us reason to start buying and breaks below this, then we'll start taking ourselves to the downside. So this is what I'm seeing on Euro USD now. So let's wait and see what market is going to do. The market gives us reason to sell, we sell. If it doesn't give us, we allow the market to play out the way it wants to play. Thank you guys. Thank you all for watching. click the like button. If you know anywhere to click the subscribe button or the follow button, because I'm going to keep on updating you guys on whatever is going to keep on happening. So let's keep this going.